The dollar store is a great place to pick up inexpensive but useful items, and you can always count on finding some hidden treasures too. In today's video, we are headed back to the dollar store for more sewing hacks. At our dollar store, we are lucky enough to have a craft corner, and they're constantly adding new crafty things. This past time we went, we found the Aleene's tacky glue, which is worth way more than $1, and it was in the full size, which is really nice and handy. We can use for crafting and sewing projects. We also found a bunch of different colors of the 100% cotton yarn, which I'm going to use for decorative stitching with my cording foot. And then we found these adorable little containers that are perfect to house all sorts of things, like my Wonder Clips, buttons, sewing machine needles, and it also holds bobbins perfectly. But just imagine all the other things that you could store in these little containers. Head over to the office supplies section and you'll find these fantastic badge holders. Now, I went ahead and decorated mine with a little bit of button, and also I used that tacky glue from the Aleene's that I found in the craft department. Now, what you're probably wondering is, what would we use a badge holder for in the sewing department? What we're gonna do is we're going to unsnap the little plastic thing, wrap it around the handle of our scissors, and I'm using my micro tip scissors from Sookie Sews. And then you would just clip it onto your shirt, and now you have a pair of scissors at the ready, and it's retractable, so you will be able to always know where your scissors are and pull it just far enough to clip your threads. Now head over to the personal hygiene area and grab yourself a package of dental floss. Now, it's great if you can find one that's not scented, but you do want it to be waxed. And if you do find it scented, it's okay, it'll just leave your fingers smelling minty fresh. But the reason dental floss is nice to have in your sewing room is because it's super strong, great for sewing on buttons, and because it has that wax coating, it makes it easy to go through the eye of the needle and through the material. So after you tie your knot, and I find that tying a double knot at the bottom of it is really helpful because of that wax coating. It wants to slide through the material almost too good. And then when you go to sew on whatever it is you're using, you'll find that it glides through the material real easily. And like I said, now your fingers have a minty fresh scent to them. And right next to the dental floss, you're gonna find a bunch of toothbrushes. Now, it's best if you can find one that has the hard bristles, which is kind of the opposite of what my dentist always tells me, but the harder the better in this case. And the reason why is we're gonna use it for chenille. Once you have created your chenille channels and you've cut them, you wanna go back in with a toothbrush and rough it up really good before you throw it in the washer. Now, if you can't find a toothbrush with a hard bristle, head over to the beauty department and grab some of these nail brushes. Now, they come in different sizes, and the pack I got had 2 sizes. I find that the big one is really great for large areas for chenille, but the bristles aren't as close together. I really like the little ones. And what's nice is you can put your fingers right through the holes and then just brush it like you would be scrubbing your bathtub. So both of these are fantastic, but I do like the little one better. Now, if you can't find the nail brushes by themselves, you may look for a pedicure set, which includes a couple things you don't need, but a couple of things that you're going to really like. We're not going to need these, but we are going to use the pedicure brush, the nail brush, for the chenille. But if you can find some of the little toenail painting separators, these are really great for your bobbins. I like to use these when I'm taking classes, or if I'm working on a special project that requires a couple of different thread colors, or if I want all my bobbins filled up ahead of time, I can just take this and keep it with my project and it's on the ready. Now, after you have fluffed up your chenille, it's ready to go in the laundry. And what's really great is you can find these really inexpensive pack of 3 usually laundry bags. They're made out of mesh, they have a zipper. You'll just take your chenille and you'll throw it in the washer and the dryer at least once, but maybe twice. And then when you're finished, it'll come out even extra fluffy. Another thing you can do with mesh laundry bags is you can wash anything that's going to unravel a lot. Like rayon is the worst. When you throw it in the washer and the dryer, it gets to be a tangled mess. So just throw it in your mesh laundry bag, wash it, dry it as you would like, and then now all the mess would be contained inside the laundry bag. If you're lucky enough to find some bandanas at your dollar store, grab them. Just make sure that it does in fact say 100% cotton. You want to make sure it's cotton because then you can use it as a press cloth. Now you might be wondering, what's a press cloth? Well, a press cloth is anything that you would use over a synthetic material or something that you don't want to have any sheen to. For example, when you're working with a material that's a synthetic like acetate or polyester, if you take your iron and press right onto it and your iron heat is too high, you'll actually melt the fibers. But if you take a press cloth over top of it and you press it, the cotton protects the synthetic material, and then you get a nice flat press, but you don't have to worry about ruining your synthetic material. Another really great use for using a press cloth would be when you're working with machine embroidery. You can take a press cloth, lay it over top, and do the pressing. This helps protect the threads from getting flattened out. And also because, for example, my thread is polyester, if I, again, take the iron and put it right on the threads, it could add an extra sheen that I'm not really looking for. So take that press cloth, do your pressing, and now you don't have to worry about any of that. Now head over to the Home Goods and you're gonna find these plastic placemats. They come in all kinds of pretty prints, but honestly, it doesn't matter because we're gonna flip it to the other side and we're going to transfer any of our popular pattern pieces that you use over and over again. You're gonna just take a Sharpie and trace around the pattern piece and transfer any of your markings you'd like. And speaking about Sharpies, you can absolutely get these at the dollar store, but you might wanna also check for like a knockoff brand because they're gonna work just fine as long as they say permanent markers for this application. Now what's nice is it's got that nice thick template type of structure to it, and it'll be really easy for now taking this and transferring it to fabric. Just like I said before, make sure that you transfer anything that you need to so that you're not looking at this pattern later on and wondering what it's for. So make sure you transfer any of marks and how many items to cut, and then you'll be good to go. And head over to the party section and grab some of these adorable bright colored gift sacks. They come in packages of 6 or 8. I was lucky enough to find some 8. And then all you're gonna do is open up the bag and then fold the inside down about 4 inches, and you're going to tape it to the side of your workspace. And then now you can just throw all your threads and your little bits of material inside there, and when you're finished you can just crumple it up and throw it away and start with a new one the next time you're sewing, and that way your sewing space is always nice and tidy. Be sure to check out my other dollar store videos and let me know in the comments below what items you get from the dollar store and which ones you use for sewing. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye.